Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a remarkable leader whose voice rang out during a pivotal time in American history. Born on January 15, 1929, he championed the cause of civil rights and equality for all people, regardless of their skin color. With his powerful speeches and tireless activism, King inspired countless individuals to join the fight against injustice and discrimination. He believed deeply in the ideals of peace and nonviolent protest, always striving for a world where everyone could live together in harmony. King led famous marches and protests across the country, advocating for voting rights, fair treatment, and an end to segregation. His work aimed to achieve the dream of equality that he often spoke about, a dream that envisioned a future where children of all backgrounds could play together without prejudice. His commitment to these ideals was unwavering, even in the face of great danger. In every march he led, there were many supporters who stood with him, believing in his vision. Among them was Thomas Green, a devoted activist who had followed King's journey from the very beginning. While Dr. King was busy leading crowds toward justice, he never forgot those who were unable to march beside him due to illness or age. This dedication to his supporters highlighted King's compassionate nature. His willingness to go beyond scheduled plans for those who believed in the cause showcased his true character, a leader who cared deeply about every individual involved in the struggle for freedom. As we explore this touching story further, we will see how Dr. King's actions reflected his profound empathy and commitment to justice. Thomas Green was more than just a name in the crowd. He was a vital part of the civil rights movement's heartbeat. At 61 years old, he had dedicated his life to fighting for justice, inspired by Dr. King's vision of equality for all. From a young age, Thomas understood the struggles faced by those who were marginalized and oppressed. His passion ignited in his teenage years, as he witnessed the injustices around him. He joined protests, marched alongside friends, and spread the message of hope and unity. However, as time passed, Thomas's health began to decline. Despite his illness, his spirit remained unbroken. Even when he could no longer march physically, he continued to support the movement in other ways. By organizing meetings, providing food for protesters, and sharing inspiring stories from history that kept the fire of hope alive in the hearts of those around him. As news spread that Thomas was nearing the end of his battle with sickness, it became clear how much he meant to those involved in the movement. People spoke about his unwavering dedication and how he had touched their lives. They shared memories of conversations filled with laughter and dreams about a better future. Though he could not walk alongside Dr. King during marches anymore, Thomas's contributions echoed loudly through the community. It was in this context that Dr. King felt compelled to visit him, recognizing not only Thomas's sacrifices but also the deep bond they shared as fellow warriors in the fight for civil rights. Their connection transcended age and illness. It was built on mutual respect and love for justice. As Dr. King prepared for the scheduled march, excitement filled the air. This event was not just another demonstration. It was a pivotal moment in the struggle for civil rights. Thousands had gathered to join him, united by a common goal: to demand equal rights and justice for all people. The march would lead them through the heart of the city, where they would pass significant landmarks that represented both oppression and hope. The route included stops at places that had witnessed countless struggles, like courthouses and city halls, where unfair practices had long been upheld. Dr. King knew that each step taken during this march echoed the footsteps of those who had fought before them, paving the way toward a brighter future. The significance of this day was palpable, as it served as a reminder of how far they had come and how much further they needed to go. Yet, amidst the anticipation and energy of the crowd, King received distressing news about Thomas Green. It weighed heavily on his heart. He understood that while they marched for justice, there were individuals like Thomas who had dedicated their lives to the cause but could no longer participate due to illness. Dr. King's decision to leave the march route revealed his deep understanding of community and connection. He recognized that true leadership meant prioritizing human relationships over scheduled events. As he set off to visit Thomas, he carried with him not just his leadership role but the hopes and dreams of countless supporters who believed in a better tomorrow. As Dr. King stood at the forefront of the gathering crowd, the excitement and energy around him were palpable. But in that moment of jubilation, he was struck by a sense of urgency when he received a message from his team. They informed him that Thomas Green, a longtime supporter and friend, was gravely ill and nearing the end of his life. The news hit King deeply. He knew how dedicated Thomas had been to the cause and that he was too weak to join the march. Dr. King felt an overwhelming desire to be by Thomas's side. He recognized that time was slipping away, and this might be one of the final chances to express his gratitude and support for someone who had devoted so much to the movement. In his heart, King understood that their bond extended beyond mere friendship. It was rooted in shared struggles and dreams for a better future. Leaving behind the scheduled march felt like a monumental decision for Dr. King. After all, he had spent years rallying people to fight for justice and unity in person. Yet he knew that true leadership wasn't just about leading crowds. It was also about recognizing when someone needed him most. As he made his way to Thomas's home, thoughts raced through his mind. He envisioned their conversations filled with laughter, hope, and determination. He wanted to ensure that before it was too late, Thomas felt appreciated and connected to the larger struggle they both believed in. This visit was not just about saying goodbye. It was a chance to honor a champion of civil rights who had inspired many along the way. Dr. King's decision to detour from the planned march route spoke volumes about his character and values. While the sounds of chanting and excitement surrounded him, he chose a quieter path to visit Thomas Green, a choice that highlighted his compassion for those who had supported the movement but could not actively participate at that moment. This decision was not taken lightly. It was a testament to King's understanding that the fight for civil rights was not solely about public demonstrations but also about the personal connections that fueled the movement. As he made his way to Thomas's home, King reflected on the many sacrifices made by supporters like Thomas. Despite being unable to march alongside him, Thomas had always been present in spirit, providing encouragement and strength. This visit was an opportunity for King to show that every person involved in the movement was valued, regardless of their physical ability to participate. When he arrived, King found Thomas resting comfortably but weak. They shared heartfelt conversations, reminiscing about past struggles, dreams for the future, and the importance of resilience in the face of adversity. In this intimate setting, King demonstrated that true leadership involves recognizing and honoring those who laid the groundwork for change, even if they could no longer stand on the front lines. This act of kindness reminded everyone that the civil rights movement thrived on unity and support. Through his visit, Dr. King reinforced that each supporter mattered deeply, ensuring that their contributions would never be forgotten. When Dr. King arrived at Thomas Green's home, the atmosphere was filled with a poignant blend of warmth and sadness. Thomas lay in a comfortable chair, eyes bright but body frail. The two men exchanged heartfelt greetings, their bond forged over years of shared dreams and struggles for civil rights. As they settled into a deep conversation, topics flowed effortlessly from memories of past marches to hopes for a brighter future. Thomas shared his reflections on the journey of the movement they both cherished. "We have come so far, but there's still much to do," he said, his voice steady despite his condition. His determination resonated with King, who listened intently. They discussed the resilience needed to continue pushing for justice and equality, an unwavering desire that both men held close to their hearts. In this emotional meeting, King felt a rush of gratitude for Thomas's dedication. He recalled the countless times Thomas had stood strong alongside him, encouraging others even when facing personal challenges. Their conversation was not only a farewell but also an affirmation of their mission. It wasn't about physical presence but rather the shared vision that tied them together. As time passed, tears welled in King's eyes as he realized the profound impact that Thomas had made, not just on him personally, but on the entire movement. This meeting became a cherished moment between friends who envisioned freedom and justice for all people. In their hearts, they both knew that despite the hardships ahead, hope would always pave the way toward a better tomorrow. Even in those final hours together, their spirits remained intertwined through the cause they believed in so deeply. Dr. King and Thomas Green spent hours together, nestled in a quiet room filled with the soft sounds of the outside world. As they sat side by side, time seemed to slip away, allowing them to delve deep into conversation. Each moment was precious, a blend of nostalgia and hope that flowed between them like a lifeline. They reflected on the many marches they had participated in together, the cheers of the crowd, the feeling of unity, and the shared struggles that had shaped their lives. Thomas spoke passionately about his dreams for future generations, envisioning a world free from prejudice where children could grow up without fear or inequality. King listened intently, feeling both the weight of their mission and the lightness of hope that Thomas's words inspired. The connection formed during these precious hours went beyond mere friendship. It was a testament to their shared purpose and belief in justice. King could see in Thomas's eyes the same fire that had ignited his own passion for change years ago. They knew they were part of something much larger than themselves, a movement that would create ripples through history. As they shared stories and laughter, there was also a bittersweet quality to their dialogue. Each moment felt like a farewell as they acknowledged the challenges ahead while cherishing the victories already won. In those hours, Dr. King felt a profound sense of gratitude for Thomas's unwavering spirit and commitment to civil rights. When it was finally time for King to leave, he realized just how deeply this meeting had affected him. It solidified their bond in ways that would carry forward into the future, reminding him that every voice matters in the fight for equality and justice. As Dr. King rejoined the march, the atmosphere around him buzzed with energy and determination. However, he felt a profound weight on his heart, one that contrasted starkly with the cheers and chants of the crowd. His shirt was damp from tears, a visible sign of the emotions he had just experienced during his heartfelt visit with Thomas Green. Though he walked among his supporters, feeling their strength and solidarity, the memory of his time with Thomas lingered in his mind. It was a bittersweet moment. While he was surrounded by hope and commitment to the cause, he was also reminded of the fragility of life and the sacrifices made by those who had dedicated themselves to the fight for justice. Those who noticed King's damp shirt exchanged concerned glances but did not question him. They understood that there was often more beneath the surface of a leader's demeanor than what appeared in public. In that moment, King embodied both the pain of loss and the resilience required to keep moving forward. His tears were not just for Thomas but for all those who had fought bravely in silence, often without recognition. As he marched, King felt renewed purpose surging through him. Each step he took echoed not only his commitment to justice but also served as a tribute to Thomas and others who had inspired him along the way. He knew that their struggles would continue to shape the movement, fueling his passion to advocate for a better future for all. In that poignant blend of sorrow and determination, Dr. King reaffirmed his promise to honor every voice in the fight for equality. The moment Dr. King returned to the march held profound significance both personally and within the broader context of the civil rights movement. On a personal level, visiting Thomas Green served as a reminder of the human connections that fueled King's passion for justice. It reinforced the understanding that every individual story mattered. The tears on his shirt were not just signs of sorrow. They symbolized his commitment to honoring every supporter and acknowledging the sacrifices made by those who could no longer march alongside him. In the greater context of the movement, this moment exemplified the spirit of solidarity and empathy that King preached. The civil rights movement was about more than just protests. It was rooted in a deep sense of community and shared struggles. By prioritizing his visit to Thomas, King highlighted that each participant, regardless of their physical ability to engage directly in marches, played an essential role in the fight against inequality. This emotional experience sharpened his resolve and reminded everyone present, and those who would hear about it later, that the movement was truly collective. King's presence in the crowd, marked by visible emotions, became a rallying point for supporters who understood that behind every face in the movement was a story of hope, dreams, and sometimes heartbreak. As he walked alongside others chanting for justice, Dr. King felt more than just a leader. He felt like a part of something much larger, a family bound together in pursuit of a common cause. This incident fortified not just his leadership but also ignited an even greater determination within the entire movement to carry forward the visions and dedication of those like Thomas Green, ensuring their legacies would never be forgotten. As Dr. King rejoined the march, his emotional state did not go unnoticed by those around him. The sight of his damp shirt from tears conveyed a depth of feeling that resonated with the supporters marching alongside him. They could sense the weight he carried, and it struck a chord within their hearts. Many had dedicated their lives to the same cause and understood the significance of King's visit to Thomas Green. In that moment, they recognized a leader who was not only strong but also vulnerable, one who deeply cared for those who supported the movement. The impact of King's emotional return was profound. As they marched together, whispers began to circulate among the crowd about King's visit and the bond he shared with Thomas. Supporters reflected on how that connection exemplified true leadership, one that valued compassion as much as strength. It inspired them to dig deeper into their own commitment to the cause, knowing that their individual stories mattered just as much. Some participants felt a renewed sense of purpose, while others found themselves moved to tears as well. They understood that behind every powerful speech and public rally lay personal stories of sacrifice and love for justice. King's display of emotion reminded them that they were part of a larger family united in their fight for equality. In this way, King's emotional state became a rallying point for the marchers, strengthening their resolve to push forward in solidarity. Each step taken together became a shared promise to honor every voice in the struggle for civil rights and to remember those like Thomas Green who had played an essential role in shaping their journey. Through caring leadership, Dr. King not only inspired others but also created an unbreakable bond among them all. Dr. King's actions throughout this poignant episode exemplified the vital importance of empathy in leadership. By choosing to visit Thomas Green, he demonstrated that true leaders prioritize human connections over schedules and public appearances. This choice not only honored a dedicated supporter but also highlighted the emotional fabric woven into the civil rights movement. King's willingness to express vulnerability showed that leadership is not just about strength, it also involves understanding and sharing in the struggles of others. The impact of his visit and emotional return to the march resonated deeply with those around him. It reminded supporters that they were all part of a larger family bound together by shared hopes and dreams. In every tear shed, there was a reaffirmation of their collective commitment to justice, as well as an acknowledgement of the sacrifices made by individuals like Thomas Green. Empathy became a powerful tool in Dr. King's leadership style, helping him connect with his supporters on a profound level. It inspired those marching alongside him to reflect on their own roles within the movement, and encouraged them to carry forward the legacy of compassion alongside their fight for equality. Ultimately, this moment reinforced that effective leadership involves listening to others, embracing emotions, and recognizing that each person contributes uniquely to a common cause. Dr. King's embodiment of empathy served as a reminder that in the struggle for civil rights, caring for one another is just as essential as any rally or speech, because it is through these connections that movements truly gain strength and momentum. Thomas Green's legacy as a supporter of the civil rights movement serves as a powerful reminder of the lasting impact of kindness and human connection within social movements. Though he may not have been able to march in person during his final days, his unwavering spirit and dedication left an indelible mark on those around him. His commitment to justice and equality inspired many, including Dr. King, who recognized the importance of honoring every individual who contributed to the fight for civil rights. Green's influence highlights how acts of compassion resonate far beyond their immediate context. By choosing to prioritize his visit to Thomas, Dr. King exemplified a leadership style rooted in empathy and respect for all supporters, regardless of their physical capabilities. This approach not only strengthened the ties among those involved in the movement, but also ensured that each person's story was remembered and valued. The deep conversations shared between King and Green encapsulated the essence of community within the movement, showing that connections forged through shared struggles can empower individuals to continue fighting for justice even in challenging circumstances. Their bond reflected a mutual understanding that everyone has a role to play in creating change. As the civil rights movement progressed, it was this spirit of kindness and acknowledgement that galvanized supporters to push forward together. Thomas Green's legacy, therefore, is not just one of unwavering support, It is a testament to the belief that caring for one another is essential to fostering resilience and unity in the face of adversity. Ultimately, his example reminds us all that behind every social movement lies a network of relationships that fuel its strength and momentum, ensuring that the fight for justice continues for generations to come.